LeBron James wants to play with his son Bronny James. We don't know what's crazier, the fact that he planned to do that or that it's very likely to happen. Let's look at LeBron's son signing with Klutch Sports and what it means for the future. Firstly, the next generation has signed up. Both of LeBron James's sons, Bronny and Bryce, have followed in their father's footsteps and signed with Klutch Sports. Even though LeBron James has been concentrating on trying to save the season for the Los Angeles Lakers, other things are taking place in the King's life. James is a devoted family man, and his relationships with his kids, Bronny and Bryce, are of the utmost importance to him. They have just moved one step closer to entering the league, and LeBron would likely enjoy nothing more than to play with either one of them if it were possible. Recent events provided Bronny and Bryce James with a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity as they competed for Sierra Canyon against Christ the King and were pitted against Keon Anthony, Carmelo Anthony's son. It must be insane to have a parent who is considered to be one of the best players of all time, and it's bound to come with a great deal of pressure and attention. But in addition to that, it offers incalculable benefits, as Bronny and Bryce have recently discovered for themselves. Both Bronny and Bryce have recently gained representation through Rich Paul's Klutch Sports, which will significantly assist them as they continue their careers. There is little question that LeBron James's influence played a significant role in the young players landing agents, even though they have already demonstrated more than enough talent to warrant such representation. And even though Rich Paul has made it a point to dispel the notion that he encourages his clients to join LeBron James and the Lakers, there is a possibility that it will be essential to do so in this particular instance. Next up, has LeBron's goal hurt his son? And just how good are they? It's been claimed that LeBron James's choice to publicly announce his desire to play in the NBA alongside his son Bronny James has complicated the college recruitment process for Bronny, who's 18. According to sources on the college coaching staff, the James family has been as low maintenance as a megastar can be, according to Dana O'Neal of The Athletic. However, the potential desire to fast-track Bronny's path to the NBA to play with his four-time most valuable player father is an issue. LeBron James's statements, according to an unnamed college coach who spoke to O'Neal about them, really confused everything. In the composite rankings used by 24/7 Sports, Bronny is rated as a 4-star prospect and the number 45 overall player in the 2023 class. However, coaches sometimes view him as something other than a sure thing to emerge as a one-and-done college player. According to O'Neal, those recruiting James's eldest son envision a player who may not be NBA ready after 2 or even 3 years. Bryce, who will be 15 years old when he starts high school, is also beginning to gain interest as he enters the school system. The question that needs to be answered is whether or not the James family is willing to wait for Bronny to have a more natural and long-term college career, or whether or not they will push for heavy involvement during his freshman season, with the goal of Bronny entering the 2024 NBA draft when he is first eligible. LeBron's plan and the pressure of playing with his son, Lakers GM Rob Pelinka, included the following provisions to LeBron James's most recent contract agreement with the Los Angeles Lakers: an option for the player for the 2024-25 season. That is, he could opt out and become a free agent. He is preparing to sign a contract with the 2024 team that selects his son in the draft. In addition to the timetable, another concern that college coaches have voiced is the amount of attention that Bronny will bring to the program, regardless of whether this is a positive or a negative development. One of the coaches said to O'Neal, and this is LeBron's kid, he explained that it was a difficult situation because many people might applaud you for playing him more than 30 minutes if the team is unsuccessful, but they might condemn you if he plays just 12 minutes but is flourishing. Another person chimed in and said, whether he scores 4 points or 40, it will be mentioned on First Take the next morning, not whether or not your team won, but Bronny's performance. When everything is considered, a picture explains why there have yet to be any favorites to emerge in the competition to acquire the top 50 prospects. Even though the 6'3" combo guard can deliver a significant boost on and off the court, this is a complicated position to manage. Bronny has the potential to be a star in the NBA down the road, but he will need to make considerable strides in his game over the next 2 years to demonstrate that he's ready for the professional ranks in 2024-25. Following that, LeBron is still going strong in year 20. The superstar forward for the Los Angeles Lakers, LeBron James, is currently in his 20th season and should be slowing down. Instead, he's having an incredible season, averaging 26.2 points, 8.6 rebounds, and 6.3 assists per game thus far. Many people anticipate that he will continue playing for at least a couple more years before calling it a career, even though it is inconceivable that he'll be able to maintain this level of performance for much longer. This would mean he would only play one more season with the Lakers before opting out of his contract and playing with the franchise that drafted his son Bronny James. On the other hand, James's James's fellow player, Dennis Schroeder, claims that James intends to continue his NBA career for another 5 to 7 seasons. Assuming, for the sake of argument, that this is accurate, he would be the first player to participate in a game in the 4 decades since the 1900s. It would be one thing for a typical player to accomplish that feat, but for the best player who has ever lived to do so would be an accomplishment of the highest order. Next up, is it realistic to expect LeBron James to play for much longer? Based on his contract and prior commitments, fans and media assumed he would play for 2 more seasons. However, the possibility of playing for 5 to 7 more seasons appears inconceivable. After all, James would be between the ages of 43 and 45, and the oldest player to ever play in an NBA game was Nat Hickey, who at the age of 45 decided to become a player coach for 2 games back in the 1940s. If James were to do the same, he would break the record for the oldest player to ever play in the NBA. During the same time, James has racked up significant minutes played throughout his career, especially in the postseason, where he has had 9 postseason runs of at least 20 games. In the playoffs, James has played in a total of at least 20 games 9 times. Considering the 200 games he played in the playoffs, it's as if he's already played 22 seasons. Can James continue playing for at least another 5 seasons? The field of sports medicine has significantly contributed to an increase in the lifespan of players' careers across all levels of competition. So, we have to say yes. So how is LeBron still this good? Even though he's 34 years old, Kevin Durant is now on track to score 30 points a game for the 2nd season. Even at the age of 38, Chris Paul is still an essential part of a contender's chances of winning the championship, while Steph Curry is one of the top 5 players in the league. All of this points to the fact that NBA players enjoy more extended and successful careers. Additionally, genetics is a factor. No player can remain active in the NBA for an extended period. Thus, James would be the one to achieve it, given his exceptional athletic ability. James, who is sometimes compared to Michael Jordan, who would have played for 19 seasons if Jordan had not retired twice throughout his career. Jordan did not make the same kind of investment in his body as James, which may allow LeBron James to continue playing basketball long into his 30s. This is especially true if he agrees to play a position on the bench, which would considerably lengthen his career and ensure that King James's rule continues for at least 25 years. And finally, what's the verdict on Bronny James? Basketball fans eagerly await Bronny James's NBA debut, which will affect his father, LeBron James. But one school of thought believes he should wait. One skill evaluator told Jason Lloyd of The Athletic that Bronny should play 2 or 3 years of college basketball before the draft. Bronny's future is unclear, but the rankings suggest he might attend a high college and contribute soon. During All-Star Weekend in Cleveland, LeBron said he would play with his son in the NBA. Lloyd interviewed James. "My son will play my last year. I'll follow Bronny. I would do anything to play with my son for a year. Money doesn't matter then. Unless rules change, Bronny can be drafted in 2024. He might play in college, overseas, in the G League, or take a year off in 2023-24. Prospects who don't want a one-and-done college career are turning to the G League. Jalen Green of the Houston Rockets and Jonathan Kuminga of the Golden State Warriors played for G League Ignite last season before being top 10 picks in 2021. The G League is good at preparing players for the NBA. Still, a solid collegiate school may be optimal if Bronny needs multiple years of preparation. As the anonymous talent evaluator advises, LeBron's future is worth addressing. As a 37-year-old in his 19th season, despite recent injuries, he's still a great player. He may want to retire later. Therefore, he may be willing to wait until Bronny goes to college. However, LeBron will become a free agent following the 2022-23 season, and Bronny's decision to enter the draft in 2024 would make it simpler for him. Bronny may not be NBA ready by 2024, but a team should take a chance on him because of LeBron. So LeBron's sons have a ways to go before they reach the NBA. However, they're on the right track. And with LeBron having plenty left in the tank, this crazy dream of his might just come true. As always, remember to like, share, and subscribe.